Let's practice division of whole numbers. Sam is saving digital copies of his movies on his computer. Right now, 236 movies take up 275,176 kilobytes. If each movie takes up the same amount of kilobytes, how many kilobytes does each movie take up? So, our problem today is looking at um, how we can take a whole unit of something and separate it into other whole units. So we're going to look at the kilobytes, which is 275,176. That's my total. And I'm going to separate it because it's saying that each of the movies, the 236 movies, is separating all of that. Okay, so when I know that I'm separating things, I know it's going to be division or it's going to be subtraction, but that would take me a long time to subtract 275,176 236 times. So I'm going to subtract or divide, sorry, by 236. And then I'm going to check my answer because at the end I need to make sure that my quotient really matches what I did. So 236 goes into 2 0 times. It goes into 27 0 times. It goes into 275 one time. And then I'll subtract. I can't take 6 from 5. So now it's 15 minus 6, which is 9, and 6 minus 3, which is 3. 236 goes into 91, probably one time. 2 times would be too much. 6 can't come from 1. 11 minus 6 is 5. 8 minus 3 is 5. 3 minus 2 is 1. 236 into 1500. I'm going to say it's probably going to be somewhere around 5 or 6. So I'm going to start with 6. I can always go back and check from there and try something different. 6 times 6 is 36. 3. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 3 is 21. Carry the 2. 6 times 2 is 12, plus 2 is 14. 7 minus 6 is 1. 5 minus 4, or 1 is 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. Bring down the 6. Well, 14, 16, 14, 16. That means I can take 6 again, which means I will have nothing left over. So 1,166 kilobytes looks like it's going to be in each movie. But again, I'm going to check it to make sure. So 1166 times 236, 36, 39, 9, 6, placeholder 18, 19, 3. Oh, you know what? It looks like I probably did something wrong there. So I'm going to go back. I think I skipped over to my 2. So I'm going to do this again. 18, 19, 4, 3. See, even I can make mistakes. 2 placeholders, 12, 13, 3, and 2. 6, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 10, 15, 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7, and 2, 275,176. So I got what I had here, and I used what I had here to check my information. Okay, those of you that don't like to do that step, I would encourage you to do that step because in long division, you're inevitably going to make mistakes. So that last step of checking is super, super important. So this problem is comparing two different states, one which is larger than the other. Montana is definitely larger per square mile than Vermont is. Maybe not by population, but definitely by size of the state. So we're going to figure out how many times Vermont is going to go into Montana. So that means Montana's my whole that I'm going to take, and I'm going to separate it into pieces. Okay, so Vermont, essentially, I'm taking pieces of Vermont out of Montana. So my whole for Montana is 147,164. And I'm going to separate that into the state of Vermont. The state of Vermont is 9,623 square miles. So I'm going to separate it by 9,000. Let me check if it's 600. Yep, 623. Okay, so again, I'm taking this step by step. This goes into 1 0 time, 14 0 times, 147 0 times, 1,471 0 times. Now I'm looking at 14,716. And I'm going to say that it's probably going to go in there just once because times 2 would be 18. That would be too much. So I'm going to subtract 9,623. 6 minus 3 is 3. 2 cannot come from 1, so I have to regroup. 11 minus 2 is 9. 6 minus 6 is 0. 14 minus 9 is 5. Now, before I move on, this is less than this, so I know I can move on. I'm going to bring down my 4. 9,000 into 50,000, that's probably going to be somewhere around 5 because 9 times 5 is 45. Again, mental math is helpful here. 5 times 3 is 15. Carry the 1. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 1 is 11. 5 times 6 is 30 plus 1 is 31. 5 times 9 is 45 plus 3 is 47. And now I'm going to subtract. I can't take 5 from 4. I need to borrow. And then 14 minus 5 is 9. 2 minus 1 is 1. 9 minus 1 is 8. I can't take 7 from 0. 10 minus 7 is 3. Again, this is less than this, so I'm fine. Now the question asks me how many times Vermont fits into Montana. Since I have an additional piece left over here, I could continue on by putting a decimal and carrying on, but the question asks me how many times. As soon as I have that decimal, I really need to stop because I can't take a portion of Vermont. It's not asking me to do that. It says how many times can I take out Vermont? So I can essentially take out Vermont 15 times. There will be a portion that's left over, roughly about a third of Vermont. So 15 times I can take Vermont out of Montana.